So I know previously we've tried to run the city on 2 meetings a month, where we're just getting together 2 nights during the month and having conversations to discuss ordinances and such. I really feel as though now our communication amongst each other has to really pick up and improve, not only with the coalition, but amongst all the aldermen and board. So expect to see more emails from me, from the coalition, so we can all be pushing this, because this isn't something we can just sit aside and wait and see what happens. We've got to do something now. And so hopefully when we get everyone together, we can push forward.
I would like to see us go ahead and try to set some planning sessions so that we can, just to begin to outline and prioritize what direction we want to take. Information is power, and we've received a lot of information, and now it's time to deal with it. It's not pretty, but I think that through a lot of hard work and dedication, this board and the community can rally together, and we can come up with some workable solutions that we can engage in to start moving and getting that momentum that they were talking about, that at least we're moving in a positive direction rather than regressing. So definitely, I think that we need to inject a planning session and make that part of our calendar. And I'm open, to considering whatever. So I would like to see the board decide something on that.
Does anyone else have anything?
I also kind of agree with that. Maybe we, for a period of time, add a meeting every month at least to vote to the specific issues that we've known about for a while. We learned in more detail tonight whether that meets with everyone else's approval, but that would be what I would like to see.
I think we can find out, what the availability of the space is, or, look through Lindsay and find out, what's a workable time frame, that we can get something consistent on our calendars for an additional work session each month.
Dedicated to
at
this.
Least one. Yes.
Because it's not just a short, we've got to put together not only a short-term plan of some of these immediate needs, we need mid-term goals as well as the long-term, and plan it all out. Basically to create a new master plan on how we're going to get to that end goal. So, so we've got plenty of issues to address. When is I know our next scheduled meeting is the 14th. I do believe we should have a special session well before waiting 3 additional weeks from now to have another discussion about this topic. That way the board has time to go and review all this information, follow up with any individuals that they may have questions with, and then we can reconvene to discuss this. Looks like as far as the next, we're looking at those Mondays. January 31st for February 7th would be the next ones. Does anybody have a preference? I feel as though I don't want to lose any of the momentum that tonight has created.
Fresh. Yeah.
And it's very fresh in the mind. And so I would say the 31st, next Monday, if everyone is open for that. Let's schedule a special session to come back together, and after we've reviewed all this data, to try to get something started initially on this preliminary plan. I would like the coalition members to be available for discussion, yes. Because they have a lot of knowledge that we need to tap into to get from. Yeah, we'll stick with the 7 o'clock. If everyone's okay with that.
This room available?
So pending the availability of this room, this is where we'll have it. Okay, yeah. And if we have to, we can partition the room off and do that. All right, are there any other comments about the coalition before we move into other public and alderman reports? All right, are there any other public comments? Anyone would like to, any other public comments from tonight? Yes, please come up and.
I just would like to see something publicly to draw the community to get behind all of this. Sitting here is great, and hearing a few things in the paper is great, but there needs to be some sort of community effort as a whole to, and it's going to come down to this momentum getting started, and so I just would like to know what y'all might want to do about that.
Do you, excuse me, you brought it up, do you have any ideas what forum may work for that?
Put it on Facebook. I don't know, I have no ideas, but
Okay.
I just figured bigger heads, no.
Well, there may be a lot of big heads on here, but I'm not sure about any other ideas. Yeah, I think the town meeting format seems to be what we have.
Yeah, I've probably got a couple ideas. I think, well, for one thing, I'd just like to say thank you to Mike Hazlett because he's done a great job in the 18 months he's been here. I understand that I hear we're losing him, which is sad to say. I like to see him stay here, and I don't know if you guys can convince him to stay here. But on the other hand, as far as the positive for the community, I walked around the city today for about 3 hours, and I hit a bunch of the businesses and stopped in and told them about there was an alderman meeting tonight at 7 o'clock, and really was going to impact the city and all this. And I see there's a couple people here from the business, but the majority of them, I was really surprised. They either had something to do or whatever the case may be. But that really kind of put a damper on my efforts going around. But on the other hand too is our local newspaper here. I think instead of putting out a lot of negative stuff, I think she could probably put out a lot of more positive stuff to try to draw people into these alderman meetings here.
So what would you suggest?
I would suggest putting out the truth for one thing.
Okay, and what is the truth?
If whatever comes out in these meetings goes in that newspaper.
Well, I think that's pretty much the truth. I've never been accused of not telling
Well,
the
what I'm
truth.
saying
And
is-
I made a vow in October, every editorial except one, and that's over that 3-page letter, has been a positive about this community. And I will tell you now, I wrote 2 weeks ago, I wrote about this Joe Specker memorial that they're going to put on the highway, and guess what? They have the money. So do you think that's a positive? I think that's a positive.
Hey, let's back to your comments.
Back to my comment.
I'm tired of taking
Alright.
knocks.
Anyways, I think if more people get out the word of the people that are here now, which I applaud the people that are here, pass the word out with their friends and neighbors and the businesses too. Keep harping on some of the businesses here. Maybe we can draw them more in here. I know tonight there's a lot more people than normal here, so. But that's basically my thoughts as far as getting the word out.
Thanks, Les. Anyone else with Mr. McGee?
I don't want to do anything or step on the toes of your job up here, so I won't do anything with the commissioners until I hear from you that you would like for me to address that with them to try to make it.
Can I call you tomorrow?
Yeah,
Or if I call you?
before I do anything, I want to hear from you that you would want me to do that.
Sure.
But I'll, lay the groundwork for that.
I'll reach out to you tomorrow if that's okay.
And I drove 2.5 hours to come, and I'm going back to the Capitol tonight, so there's a lot of word out that people are coming, and I think it's important to a lot of people in the community.
Thank you.
I would just like to say that I would support an effort for and something to be initiated from the mayor and work with Mr. McGee or whomever is necessary to petition the county commission to have our status evaluated, an update on that. So I'm supportive of that moving forward.
Is there anyone else in support as well? I would assume so. All right, any other public comments before we move to Alderman's reports? Mikey?